the political nature of this administration, I would say it attempts to combine elements of both the Roosevelt era and the Reagan era. Let us look at its economic policies. There are elements of Keynesianism in it. The stimulus package, in particular, talk of some form, and I put quotes, of universal health care. These have some elements or features of the New Deal. But these elements are trumped on the other side by supply-side economics. Bernanke and the Federal Reserve and the monetarist policies which argue that you give it to the rich and it will trickle down to the rest of us. But the other side of this is I think many progressives and you have to use quotes whenever you talk about these people, quote, radicals who are apologists for the Obama administration overlook is that the forced bankruptcy of Chrysler and General Motors is perhaps the greatest union busting in America's modern history. This dagger is not only pointed at the UAW and the benefits and wages and retirement benefits of UAW workers, but if they can do that to the UAW, no worker is safe in this country. And we're not even talking yet about the unorganized and the unemployed. We might have to conclude that after 100 days, this might be the most anti-union administration in decades. I was in a meeting where black radical, quote unquote, argued that forcing Chrysler into bankruptcy was good for the Chrysler workers because it gave them 55% of the common stock of General Motors. But what this radical failed to see in his enthusiasm about Barack Obama, blinded by the glare of Obama, was what was happening to the health benefits, the retirement, and the wages of the Chrysler workers, and what this means for the working class in general. Barack Obama's foreign policy are policies that return us to the Cold War. They openly talk about Cold War politics towards Iran and North Korea. They're using the provocations against North Korea to justify their own militarization and nuclearization of Northeast Asia. A dagger that is not only pointed at North Korea, but at China as well, which is not just seen as an economic competitor, but as a future competitor in world and military policies. The political moment. 2008 must go down as a watershed in black politics. It was contradictory on all accounts. On the one side, we have to admit, as black folk, our people drank the Kool-Aid. Now, I'm not one to condemn ordinary black people who are struggling to understand a system that throws every kind of propaganda, psychological and ideological roadblock in their way. But the truth of the matter is we drank the Kool-Aid. The difficult thing to understand is how our so-called political leaders are radical intellectuals, some of whom teach at the more prestigious universities not far from here in New York, could fall for that same scam. But at the same time, for the first time, the black turnout was higher than the white turnout in a presidential election. And 96% of black people voted the same way. This is unprecedented, perhaps, in the modern political history of any modern democracy. So when those who don't agree with us say this represented an opening, they were right. But it also represented what Harold Bloom called the closing of the black mind as well. And one of the things we're doing here today is hopefully opening that mind again. But you had this enormous turnout. It has to be evaluated. What were the masses of black people responding to? We don't quite know it all. How will we move them from where they are to where they must be if they are to defend their interests? However, let's move to April 2009. I want to take two cities that had primaries. Detroit and my hometown, of which I bring you greetings from the heart of black Philadelphia, North Philly. We had primaries. In Detroit, the turnout was 16%. In Philadelphia, 17%. How do we go from 67%, 68% in November to 16% in March and April? Well, it shows us that the crisis of legitimacy of the regime remains among African Americans. We were sold on Barack Obama, but I don't think we were sold on the system as such. Detroit is one of the most impoverished, highest unemployed, highest foreclosure cities in the nation. Wealth transfer from black people to banks. Philadelphia is a poor city, a very, very poor city. The foundation for struggle is in exploiting both the contradictions of Obama, and the contradictions can only deepen because he cannot get his arms around these crises. This administration could perhaps collapse in upon itself as it attempts both to expand empire and to stabilize a financialized economic system that deepens the exploitation and impoverishment of the working people of the United States. How are you going to do both of these things? It was difficult for Roosevelt when he only tried to do one.
What's up, hater? Go on and hate away. If you're getting hated on, turn to them haters, say. What's up, hater? Go on and hate away. If you're getting hated on, turn to them haters, say. Yo. Check it. Yo, it's straight out of Boston. That is the scene. It's nasty and mean since everybody raps. They act like a critic. I ain't ask you ain't either. I got a fever. Sick of you niggas that talk a lot of shit but can't even spit in fact. Different strokes, different folks. Listen to a different track. Hate on me because I am when you wish you had, but you act like a scram and don't bring it back. I'm just gonna stack chips. I am a star. You ain't to be a star like an asterisk. That's why you sat pissed. Cause the kid's on a roll, little homie play a role like an actress. Mad you can admit that the man is better than average. When you hate, you feel at home like an address. Address them haters since you're gonna spend your days with them. Might as well go ahead and wave to them. Like, what's up, hater? Go on and hate away. If you're getting hated on, turn to them haters, say. What's up, hater? 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 Go on and hate away. If you're getting hated on, turn to them haters, say. What's up, hater? What's up, hater? What's up, hater? What's up, hater?